Hello, everybody. I know this isn't the normal person that you're used to seeing in this void here, but we got a surprise for you if you aren't already aware. If you look down at the title, we're going to be interviewing with the man of the void himself, Wyvern, and I'm stealing his stream for right now. So, first off, if you haven't been there already, we have two different places where this is live streaming. So, there is the YouTube. Oh, I can't post links. Whoops. The YouTube channel for the AVA, which you can see right there at the top of your screen. And then we're also streaming on Wyvern's channel if you're checking us out in the AVA. And, you know, I know you're used to seeing him in here, in his little void here. I don't know how I exactly got here, but, we're going to have a good time. And we're going to go ahead and interview the man himself. But before that happens, we need to go ahead and say why we're streaming both locations. We're going ahead and talking about anonymous voice actors, which is the group that me and Wyvern are a part of, pretty much run, and are hosting a project for 1HP Club, which is illustrated and everything by Elf Boy. You can check his links out. It should be appearing on screen any second now. And that'll have the Twitter, the Instagram, Twitch, and whatnot ready to go for you to go ahead and check him out. It's an unofficial reproduction of it where we are voicing all the characters to build some content around, some portfolios for some up and coming voice actors. And if anybody is interested in that, we also do have open applications to the anonymous voice actors and whatnot. And if you're interested in this project at all. But without further ado, without further ado, let's get this dude in here. Let me introduce Wyvern VT. The void in his eyes will suck you in. He will go ahead and bring you into this nethery realm with his sultry voice. And I hope you enjoy. Welcome in, Wyvern. Say hi to the people.
Welcome all in. Hope you're all having a great day. It is I back in my void, letting it get hijacked a little bit.
This is my void.
I'm letting it get hijacked for a little bit, and then this void is returning back to where its rightful owner.
The void control system was good to me. It went ahead and handled all those little noties to pop up nice and easy. So it seems to like me, just saying. So how's it going, Wyvern?
It is going pretty wonderfully. Learning a whole bunch of new things once again, because that's like my life now for the last 2 years.
I think this is the second time streaming to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, unless you do it for your own streams often.
I do, but I don't do it to. Currently, nothing is streaming to my YouTube. It is streaming to my Twitch, though. But the stream on YouTube is going to the AVA one.
It's always interesting going ahead and trying something new. But speaking of trying something new, how about you go ahead and we get through some icebreakers and we get some new material in the faces of the viewers with your favorite anime.
Alrighty. Oh, that was the question. Okay. My favorite anime is just like yours in that who the frick has a favorite anime except for the potato. But I think the one that probably oh gosh dang, it's actually kind of hard. I think the one that at least was my favorite for the longest time, and speaks a lot to all the things I enjoy, is called Black Cat. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I'm not familiar. What's it about?
Really old anime where my favorite type of protagonist, the super edgy one, that is kind of slightly overpowered, it goes on a revenge path because of some tragedy that happens in the middle of it. and it has tragedy in a good way, where typically I actually really think tragedy is totally pointless and ruins and a lot of stories. In this one, the tragedy is actually a foundational piece of the whole anime, and uh, then they do it in a weird way where they keep things really like it's kind of like a dark story with a tragic background, that they keep somewhat lighthearted. Like even the main character, who's super edgy, is like one of the more lighthearted characters in the whole thing, and it's just a perfect blending, in my opinion. One of my personal favorites.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So you said that's Black Cat?
Yeah, it's Black Cat. It's not like the great. It actually has some pretty decent voice actors, especially the old geezer. Is pretty fun, but it is an old anime, so the art style is very well. It's actually
Very
got a
hand-drawn?
really, yeah, it's got a unique art style on top of it. And I think it did a great job as far as like the action stuff. So for it being old, it actually is kind of one of a kind. Um, but it
How
is
old are we talking?
definitely
Like Ryonen Kenshin old, Inuyasha old, or Naruto old?
man, when did it come out? I actually have no idea. It probably, I assume it came out. It's probably more like Naruto, I'd assume. Let's see.
Okay.
Now I get to
So
do
like
the
early
Google.
90s?
Black Cat release date was, oh, that's Black Cat anime release date was 2005. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that doesn't feel old to me yet, but that is actually very old. That's 20 years old.
That's funny. I guess I
Yeah.
should reiterate, mildly old.
Oh,
Because
my
old
soul.
anime is definitely different.
Yeah, you're saying old anime. I'm thinking like Black Butler.
Yeah. Well, see, I thought it came
um
around. I thought it felt like more along
Original
Butler's lane.
Gundam.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think everyone
Oh,
should check it out. It's a super fun little anime, and it's a finished
sounds
story.
very good. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice binge watch.
Yeah, exactly. I actually really need to watch it again. What's this is why it's hard though, because I've actually watched Black Cat like twice, but I've watched the anime Kimi ni Todoke like 5 times, and it's the complete opposite of that anime. It's like a rom-com that is extremely well done. So you could actually say that might actually be my favorite anime because I've watched that more than any other anime. But I think if I had to choose between like what I wanted to watch, like for the rest of my life between those two, would definitely be Black Cat.
You know, some stories stick with you even without going ahead and having to do the rewatch.
Yeah,
Sometimes the rewatch isn't the defining factor.
yeah,
Sometimes you want to let that sit in your memory and not potentially ruin it with the rewatch and just be like, is that just nostalgia or did I really like that?
yeah. I loved it. I don't actually have a lot of nostalgia things. Nostalgia is like a almost like an alien concept to me. There's so many times I run into things where it's like, oh, I watched that for the nostalgia. I'm like, I don't even understand that concept.
That's interesting
Yeah.
because, like, I associate nostalgia with a lot of things. Like, when I was picking my favorite song, it was because of nostalgia.
Mm.
And, you know, if it's kind of hard to pick some favorites sometimes without, but, with that, how about your favorite song?
Yeah, I don't know why I added that in the list of questions because I think that is an impossible question to answer, and you answered it, and I have no idea. That blows my mind because I'm like, I, I can narrow
That's what I'm
down to
saying.
like my top 10 of anime. I can't even narrow down to my top 10 of songs. It'd be like my top 100
There's just
list.
so many out there.
But yeah. Um,
Okay,
I'll
let's change it
do,
up a little bit.
okay.
Instead of
Yeah.
saying favorite, what's your most memorable song? What's that
Oh,
song
that's
that
an
you
interesting.
always sing along with?
Um, okay. There are hundreds of those as well.
What's the one that pops in your
Let's
head right
do
now?
the ones that, okay. Out of all the songs I immediately naturally start singing along with, the one that is like impossible for me to not sing along with, even when I am killing my throat to do so. And I've listened to this song and I still just like it's just like I must is the entire Beethoven's Last Night uh concept album by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That
Okay.
is actually something I highly recommend. If you are here, you probably will enjoy the narration and voice acting elements to it as well. And the main singer is freaking phenomenal. And all of his songs, I know them all and I sing along to every one of them, and it is really hard for me not to sing along to them even when I really need to not.
I love the Trans-Siberian Orchestra's orchestral stuff, but I don't think I've ever heard of anything sung by them.
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, they have a ton of albums and stuff. But you definitely check out Beethoven's Last Night. Is the name of the album and is a concept album. And you can listen to just the music, and that's fun. And you can even kind of piece the story together. But there is it's a full story, so they have a narration in between each song that keeps you up to track. And it's pretty much the whole premise is, well, it's Beethoven's Last Night, but he just finished writing his 26th orchestra piece or
You know?
something. Yeah, and I don't think it was the 26th, but it's one of them. It was like the last one, and then the devil shows up and wants him to give. The devil wants Beethoven to give him the ownership of the piece, and Beethoven's
Interesting.
struggling with giving it to him because the devil's offering him the chance to keep on living or something like that. I can't fully, it's been a while since I've listened to the narration, but that's practically the whole thing. And one of my favorite lines in it is towards the end, the devil gives Beethoven a little while to contemplate what he's going to do. And he tells him that he'll give him an hour left and points at the clock. And in an hour, he'll come back and expect an answer for the choice he needs to make. And Beethoven looks at the clock, and then the hands are moving. And he's like, the hands are moving much too fast. And at this rate, an hour, it won't be an hour last. And then the devil is like, consider it your parting gift, because where you're going, the hands, they never move at all. And it's just like, ooh, I freaking love it. Such a good narration.
It sounds very Bohemian Rhapsody, but more sensical.
Yeah, it's really good. Definitely recommend
I'll definitely have to check that out. For sure. For sure. Speaking of awesome voices and narrations, what's your favorite voice actor?
Robert McCollum.
Who's your favorite voice actor? Who?
Robert McCollum.
Robert McCollum.
McCollum. McCollum, I think.
What
Something like
characters
that.
is he known for?
He's been doing anime voices for a very long time. He's actually, for being such a phenomenal voice actor and having a truly phenomenal voice, he does a ton of side voices, extras, and stuff like that. And he's really good at a huge vocal range. And so he can actually do a lot of side voices that you don't even recognize. But some of the main characters is that you'd recognize him from is Rhina in Attack on Titan. I don't know if you ever watched Kaze no Stigma, but he was Kazema, the main character. And he was Jalal in Fairy Tail.
In Fairy Tail? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing so many things. I could look him up in an IMDb list, but I actually have his name saved just so I can.
I just saw he played one of the random characters, like one of the most random characters I've seen. That like I instantly recognize which anime he's from. He voiced the main villain from the second to last arc of oh god, what is the name of the anime? I see the character. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
Yu
he
Yu
voices like
Hakusho.
the secondary
Interesting.
main villain according to this image. I found him. Oh,
He
he.
he
Oh
also
wait, from My Hero Academia, he
he's
plays
Stain.
Blood Stain. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was also, I
Okay.
don't know, no, that probably wouldn't be recognizable. Oh, he's did a voice. He did a voice in Solo Leveling as well. Interesting. Won Sung. But yeah, he's in so many things. His voice is all over the place, and I mean, it's kind of hard. So I feel like he's an unsung voice actor, one of the true greats. But I feel like that's just kind of the problem with being a voice actor. I think that's just almost like a guarantee. Being a voice actor doesn't really bring you a ton of notoriety unless you get known for something outside of voice acting, and then you
You got to
get the
go to
voice
those
acting on top
conventions,
of it.
man.
Yeah.
You got to be one of those public figures.
But yeah, this guy, oh my gosh, his voice, what I love so much about him. Okay, so there's we talked to us about a little bit about in your interview was not just doing voices, but being able to act. This guy was gifted with one of the most epic voices. He can just do some and truly, like, it just sounds so intense sometimes. And then on top of that, he can act so well. Like, he makes some bizarre random side characters feel so believable. And then when he's the main character, he's always just some phenomenal job. Regardless of whether he's doing an overpowered edgy person like in Kazuno Stigma, or a PTSD soldier like in Attack on Titan, or he does scared well, he does intimidating well, he does villains well, he does heroes well. He's just all over the board. And one of the greatest things that I loved was in Attack on Titan, you get Matthew Mercer as Eli and him as Rhina, and just them being in the same scenes together was just like, this is freaking, I'm gonna die from just there's so much joy in listening to these awesome voice actors. Man.
The combo is just unbelievable.
Yeah. I felt really sad. I felt bad for the guy who voiced Jaeger, because he's in the middle of these two epic voice actors, and he's a pretty decent voice actor himself, but when you're
just getting completely overshadowed by accident.
Oh my gosh. And then on top of that, when they were both in the same scene, and oh man, what's his name? Amir, the blonde captain, I forget his name. That guy is also an exceptional voice actor. And so like literally everyone around him is just like so like legendary voice actors, and he's kind of just in the middle of it as the main character.
The voice actor equivalent of being caught between Ryan Reynolds and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the last place you actually kind of want to be. Like, on one hand, what a freaking awesome opportunity. On the other hand, oh God, please don't let me screw it up.
The nerves. The nerves.
But yes, Robert McCollum, my favorite voice actor of all time. One of these times I might actually make a YouTube video just showcasing all of my favorite roles of his.
Awesome. If I ever go ahead and see him at a convention, I'll have to get him to sign a paper, autograph something for you.
Okay.
Speaking of autographs, what inspired you to become a budding voice actor?
A budding voice. I am a voice actor. I am not an aspiring voice actor. I am a voice actor. Well, okay, maybe not, but
Budding doesn't mean you're not a voice actor. Just means you're at the beginning of your career, not the end of it.
I just know that like one of the first rules of, if you actually really are serious about becoming a voice actor, don't say you're an aspiring voice actor ever. Say you are a voice actor. But anyways, that's not really my story, but My inspired me to become a voice actor was probably back when I was 8 years old and playing Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, but the RTS game.
Okay.
The I don't know if you
Love
ever
me a good
played it.
recon strategy.
I don't know if you ever played it, but the so okay, this was back in the day when Blizzard on the front pages of their games would advertise it with real voice actors or advertise it with "we care about all voices." They don't do that anymore, but they really went above and beyond with so many things, because I mean they used to be the company, the gaming company. They had great stories and everything, great characters, but their voice acting was phenomenal. And in Warcraft 3, which is the one I played, there's 1 and 2, and I never played those. They were before my time. But Warcraft 3 I played almost all growing up. It was like one of the first games I owned. And every character is so well voiced. There's not a single character in that game that I thought had a bad voice, or had bad voice acting. And then on top of that, they had so many lines per character, so you could keep clicking on the same character over and over and over again, and eventually it like unlocks a second folder of voices or voice lines, and then they'll start doing like joke lines and stuff instead of just their regular character lines.
Oh,
And
that's so cool.
I memorized, I mean, I don't know if I could do it anymore, but for, I mean, most of my life, if at any point you're like, tell me all the lines of this character, I would have been able to tell you, and I would have probably been able to imitate them. Because I learned a lot about imitating voices through that game, and that is what first inspired me to become a voice actor, was those guys.
Nice. So, what was your favorite character from that game?
Medivh, for sure, hands
Medivh?
down.
Could he hit
Yeah.
us? Could he hit us with a voice line?
Uh, like I said, I don't know that I can do it anymore, but he has, oh, one I actually do quote all the time is, how about I just stand over here? Which is got a lot more
I've heard
history.
you quote that before, and I didn't know it was a quote from something.
Yeah, that I was literally just
I'm
about
pretty
to.
sure you've said that in like Lethal Company and in Repo.
I was just about to explain that because I quote this game so freaking much and no one has a freaking clue what I am quoting, because I will quote the most random nonsense as it has nothing tied to it. And that is one of them is, how about I just stand over here? That was the...
Dude, you're gonna do that. I'm gonna hear it, and I'm gonna finally be in on the joke.
Yeah.
And nobody else is, and we're just gonna go into the corner and laugh.
the voice actor behind Medivh, another freaking phenomenal. I think, what was his name? His name was Michael. Actually, I have him in the resources for our Michael Bell. Yeah, that guy. Another such a good voice actor.
Michael Bell sounds super familiar.
Yeah, I have him in the resources as a he coached as well, so you can actually watch like an hour long of him coaching how to voice act, and he focuses very much on actual acting. The voice is always secondary to the voice acting.
Super important, always.
But yeah, that guy. My second favorite character is Illidan. Oh my gosh, never mind. Screw all that. Forget all that. I cannot believe I forgot this. My second favorite voice actor of all time is in this game. Pira Coppola, who voiced Sylvanas, only in the RTS. They got a new voice actor for Sylvanas once they switched to the World of Warcraft. And she's good too. Maddie Patty is the name. Maddie Patty? Is it Patty Maddie or Maddie Patty or something like that? Let me double check. Patty Madison is the name of the new voice actor, and she does a phenomenal job too. But Pira Coppola, my gosh, she's done like 7 things in her entire life. She did she hit the scene hard. She did Poison Ivy in a Batman cartoon, and then she did Sylvanas in Warcraft. But then she just disappeared and never did anything again. even though, in my opinion, she was one of the greatest voice actors of all time. She had such a unique voice, and her acting was just like
I think I
such
remember
a
her voice.
joy.
She also did Heroes of the Storm
Yeah.
as
Sh-
Sylvanas.
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm is another one. And that was I think they just took some of the same lines from the Warcraft game and threw it in there. I'm not positive on that, but yeah, that was the last time anyone ever saw her in the voice acting world anyways. But
Dang,
definitely check her out.
2015.
I think anyone who listens to watch the Batman movie that she's in from 2005. She was in 3 episodes as Poison Ivy. And gosh dang, I'm so sad that she didn't keep going, because she was already, I mean, she started on the road to success and then just disappeared, and it's such a joy to listen to. But yeah, no, so my favorite character is actually Sylvanas in that game.
Nice. I don't think you're going to be trying to do one of her voice lines.
No, even if I was to try and attempt to do a feminine voice, I couldn't even do hers. So
You were also blessed with a pretty good announcery voice. So you got lucky on the draw on that one.
Yeah, that actually is a little bit because of I finally grew up out of my voice.
Oh, dude.
For the longest time, I actually hated my voice, despite still striving to be a voice actor. And this is where I really had to learn early on that acting was such a big part of it. So I hated my voice because I knew that I would always be typecasted or put into the role of like the nerdy computer geek in their basement kind of characters.
Oh.
Because not only did my voice fit the way I talk, like I don't know what the word is, but there's like a way that I talk, because like my jaw's slightly crooked, and so it makes me say words very, very much like that. And so I was like, man, I really, really do not want to play those characters. I want to play the villain. How in the world can I play a villain with this kind of voice and this kind of like mannerism?
Hey, first of all, there's some very good nerdy villains out there.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you met Doofenshmirtz?
No. I've never seen a nerdy villain that I was like, yes. So I wanted to be a villain that made me go, oh yeah. So I actually practiced and practiced and practiced for years, learning how to speak a little bit better, and kind of like learning how to speak for my diaphragm and stuff like that. And then finally I started getting older, and then the voice started fading. And now there's voices I can't do anymore that I used to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now I can actually do the voices I've always wanted to do. And I'm just like, yeah, I think that is pretty, I'm pretty happy about that.
Well, you definitely earned your achievement then of having a very good voice for voice acting.
Starts with
I feel
acting.
your struggle. I feel your struggle. I used to go ahead, like I'm pretty sure I could have voiced a female character up until the point that I was like 25.
Yeah. one of the first things that got me to learn how to like really utilize my voice was actually in a D&D campaign. It was online, so it was over Discord, and I finally had gotten myself some recording software, Audacity, which is just a free software, but I had a computer and everything, and I was like, yes, I can finally record and hear myself and see. Because here's the thing, like I never trusted what anyone said, good or bad, about my voice, because I just don't trust it. I want to know. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp over what's good quality and bad quality, and what's good acting and bad acting, and a good voice and bad voice and stuff like that, because I've listened to tons of it and I've studied it. And so I was like, okay, no, I feel like I understand what my voice is capable of, and I know where I fall flat and where I need to expand. But I will never know until I can hear myself in a recording, so it's not just the voice I hear in my head where I have to do the trick where I have to have my hands in front of my ears and then talk and then hear what it sounds like more naturally. So as soon
Mhm.
as I recorded some of my lines, I was like, because I decided to have a little bit of a, I could kind of see the direction the campaign was going, and so I was like, I'm gonna say this when this if this happens and stuff like that. So I started recording it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was playing like a big brutish tank dude that's like a machine dragon thing, and I was trying to do this like heroic voice for it, and I was just like, this made me want to just, I almost gave up on voice acting. I'm not even gonna lie. Like
Oh, no.
when I heard that, I was just like, I thought I was so much further ahead than and now that I finally got to hear it for real, this makes me want to die inside. And so then I started really practicing hard to make that voice sound decent, because I had the acting down, but I couldn't get a good voice. And the biggest thing was learning how to use my diaphragm, because before that, it was all like nasally and all because like I still have a nasally voice, but it's I put more power through my chest and my stomach
It
more
gives it more of a
than,
rasp now rather than a nasally sound.
yeah, I just have more control and power than I used to. And so when you're trying to do a heroic voice and you have no control and power, it's not good.
Yeah, you have to really make your voice boom,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
if you don't learn that from a young age, it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
It's you got to learn how to project.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the good and bad voices, but honestly, you could have any sort of voice, and it's a big stigma for a lot of people. Like, as long as you're a good actor, your voice will be good for voice acting. There is a
Absolutely.
character that works with your voice,
That
which
has
is
been my
crazy.
motto. Like I said, I was trying to get into voice acting before my voice is what it is now. Back when
Yeah,
I
why
hated
don't you
my
actually
voice.
why don't you actually elaborate on some of your first steps towards voice acting?
Um, well, first I just had to learn how to act. Because I knew I hated my voice, but I knew that acting was the bigger part of voice acting, because there's a huge difference between a voice actor that really is relying heavily on their voice and then their acting is abysmal. I can tell almost immediately. It's just like it pulls me out of the immersion. And then there's been other voice actors that I will notice disappear, and it's not until I really focus on them that I realize, oh, they don't really have that impressive a voice, but their acting is so good that I didn't even recognize that there's a person behind this character. I just assumed the character was
They
coming
just
to life.
encompass the character in
Exactly.
its entirety.
And so I started learning and practicing that. First, it was with impressions, and then it was trying to take those impressions and create my own lines. And then I kind of just scratched the entire impression thing to get all together. And then I just started watching and studying actual voice actors. And uh, like one of the things, and I still do this to this day because I'm always studying it, is like if anyone was ever standing over my shoulder when I'm watching an anime or a movie, they would get so frustrated because I will literally repeat the same scene 25 times before I move on. And it's usually because I'm really trying to understand what they're doing right. Like there's just some scenes where someone will make the perfect expression. Because before I got was really focused on voice acting, I was thinking about just general acting. Um, and so I'd watch their expressions. I'd listen to their voice and just try and hear the weird inflections and stuff like that, and like and until I felt like I could copy it. And so I was still, I guess, kind of impersonating, but it was more, instead of impersonating voices, it was impersonating acting technique.
Mhm.
And that taught me a little bit more on how to actually act. And then I started getting into the idea of narrating a book. And I don't know if you ever heard, there's a YouTube channel that uh has like a whole bunch of free narrations that anyone can literally post on there. If you're going to narrate the whole book, just narrate it and then throw it on there. And most of them are absolutely awful. You can hear the outrageous amounts of ambient noise. Everyone's speaking monotone through the whole thing. It's just so
Oh no.
miserable because they're just amateurs. They're like, oh yeah, I'm totally narrator material, and then go to narrate, and they have no idea what they're doing. And so I started looking into it, and I decided to. I never posted anything on these videos, but I thought about it for a long time. But I did start practicing because I did read a lot of books, and so I started practicing narrating, and eventually there was someone I knew was like, you definitely could do narrating because you actually have like vocal influxes and stuff like that. You actually make the words make sense. You don't speak monotone. And even though like I wasn't really focusing on it, them saying that made me realize how important that is too. And I was like, oh, that's true. And I really should really focus on making sure that I don't speak monotone because, well, actually, man, dang, this goes back even further. But growing up, I also naturally speak monotone as well. And so I had to learn how to actually really like influx in my voice and stuff like that. And I don't remember what the words are. I don't think influx is the right word, but actually had not just speaking in monotone all the time. Like I would literally be super happy and still be talking normal. I'd be angry and still be talking normal, and no one
You
could
didn't have
really
any
know what
emotion behind it.
emotion. Yeah. So literally had a crap voice and in mannerisms and talking, and also was monotone naturally. I had to work so dang hard just to get to where I could actually act and still be believable on any level. But yeah, it was mostly just watching and really, really, really paying attention to the details of professional actors and what did they do to make their character feel believable and what they do to make their character invisible.
Nice. You've obviously put in a tremendous amount of work into voice acting already.
Yeah.
What do you plan to accomplish in the future?
Um I don't really have long-term plans. So really the 1 HP club is my future goal. And then I would like to do a more serious sci-fi webtoon at some point, and find all of the best actors that we got from the 1 HP club and see if they will move over to the um, more drama focused one. Um, but as far as like what I want to do with voice acting has always been a passion of mine. To watch and understand more than before I even was trying to do it myself. And then now that I have the opportunity to do it myself, I'm loving it. But I don't really have any long-term future goals. It's more just waiting and seeing what happens. Because I know like I could start, like I have dreams, I guess, but I don't really strive after any of my dreams. So it's just waiting to see what happens and then enjoying the moment.
If you had your choice to go into any facet of the industry, which one would you go into?
How do you mean? What do you mean by facet?
Between the like, which type of voice acting do you want to be? A cartoon character? Do you want to be a game character? Would you want to be
Mm.
a uh, dub artist? Would you want to learn a different language and then voice act in that language?
I would love to learn all the languages, but that's not going to happen. But I definitely video games was my. I actually really wanted to get into video games for a long time, and I still do. I think that would be pretty cool. But I kind of like I am doing. So I think I don't have any future goals because I'm doing the thing that I would be striving for already. That's voice acting is one of the reasons why I became a VTuber, because I felt like I never wanted to stream. I didn't have this streaming personality that is super like energetic and uh witty. Like my brain is so slow, but VTubing provided the opportunity to do all the things that I love: video editing, singing, voice acting, world building, and making a character, and so art as well, all jumbled into one. And as a voice actor, like, I love voice acting, but I also love a lot of other things, and I don't want voice acting to take up my entire life. And one of the things is anything you turn into a job starts to lose, well, it becomes a job.
Spice. Yeah, it
Yeah.
starts to lose its intrigue.
So I don't know that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if I take a couple paid jobs here and there, but for the most part, I'll just do free, anything that's free. Especially with AI coming around, I don't know how any up and coming voice actor can even survive without doing free work. So I'm actually getting to do, like, I would like to do more voice acting than I do now, because I do way more editing than I do voice acting. And I don't really have the time to invest in other voice acting projects that I could probably pick up. So I would like to do that, but
Voice acting when you're the head of something is only 5% of the job.
exactly. Yeah. So someday I would probably like to just transfer editing over and then move to another project and then be able to voice act for 2 projects and stuff like that. So
That'd be wonderful. So your future goals are pretty much your current goals.
exactly.
And one of those current goals is our Project 1 HP Club. Did you have any favorite behind the scenes moments on that project?
Mm, um,
Remember to keep it without spoilers by some
yeah.
means. It's
There's
a fun challenge here.
there's a couple characters. Yeah, actually,
And
I don't
while
think the
you
spoiler here
think
will
about
matter,
that,
but sorry, what?
while you think about that, I just want to go ahead and reiterate to everybody and just the current project we are on is 1 HP Club. It's a webtoon illustrated by Elf Boy, and we are doing an unofficial production on the YouTube channel. So feel free to go check that out. We'll be releasing the first season soon. There'll be more news about that on Hisar stream. But we'll get into more of that later. Just giving Wyvern a little bit of time to be able to think.
Well, I think so. There's a couple ones that were they were brutally hard for me. One was, well, they weren't. The first one wasn't brutally hard as much. It was doing, and this was back in the prologue. There's a bar, or not a bar. There's a tavern keeper lady that I decided to do the slug lady from Monsters Inc.'s voice. And all it was 4 words, which was the all rooms are taken, and you can go check it out. I worked really hard to make it. I didn't really realize until I started recording how difficult it would be to actually do that voice, because I can do the voice passively and everyone, like, I'll do it randomly and people know immediately who I'm talking about. But when I actually went to record it, I was like, actually, I really need to remove any male inflections at all. I need it to sound feminine while doing this voice. And that actually started becoming a little bit difficult, trying to remove anything that made it sound like me while it's still coming from my mouth. But that was a blast. The problem, though, is that shortly after that, the illustrator Elf Boy, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention Elf Boy's girl, and you kept saying him, so but Elf Boy,
Oh, I am so sorry.
it's kind of hard because their name is Elf Boy, so
Elf Boy.
but they actually do a live stream, by the way. I don't know how often they're on the live stream, but you can go check them out. But anyways,
awesome.
They they finally released another episode, and that character comes back, and I was not expecting that. And now I got like dialogue that I'm gonna have to do later, and that was kind of a funny behind the scene. The other one was the another extra, which is the barkeep. And I'm doing like 8 different extras, and so I'm trying to create like 8 distinctly different voices. And for this one, I decided to do a more gruffer voice with an accent. I don't really know what accent it is. It's just an accent. And it was kind of hard getting his voice perfectly because I did him in one episode. And then I didn't realize he showed up again later. And so then the next episode came around and I had to do him again. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I had to go restudy what I did.
What did I do for this voice?
The hard part was it was really freaking hard for me to recapture that same voice. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? What was I on when I did this voice the first time? And then it happened a third time because he'll come up. Does he come up later? I can't remember if he comes up later. I think, but it was like 3 times that he shows up and I didn't realize he showed up each time. And so I had to go back and relearn his voice each time. And I did more takes for his voice for his few tiny lines than I did all of my main characters. It was just like so many takes trying to get the accent right, trying to get the voice right in combination with the accent. And it was pretty fun. I feel like I did it how I wanted to do it, but my goodness, it was a lot more of a struggle than I was expecting.
That's why for my little elf guy, I went ahead and I only did a slight variation on my own voice.
Yeah. If I was only doing 2 characters, that's what I'd be doing as well.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's hard to you got to make them distinct, and sometimes that's a lot more difficult when you're voicing the extras. But
yeah.
It's a good one when people don't even realize you do the voice for the other guy or the other character rather. I hope you can go ahead and come into some of those moments.
That was another fun one. There's a scene where I'm literally doing 3 voices back to back, and I had to make them all 3 distinct. You'll get to hear the DM, the goat, and the narrator.
I love the goat voice specifically for that too, because it it was excellent just hearing the bouncing in between. I'm pretty sure I got to edit that part of the episode myself, so it was very enjoyable. It was very enjoyable.
I showed it to my cousin, and he was just like, "Are you doing all the voices?" It's like, no.
If you ever go ahead and put together a portfolio to go ahead and apply, you need to include that section in your portfolio.
Yeah.
For sure.
Are there any
future things? Yeah. Are there any future things that you're looking forward to in any future seasons that are coming up?
Oh my gosh, the episode. Okay, actually, let me double check. HP Club.
For anybody that doesn't know or didn't hear from the previous interview or just Wyvern talking in general, we do have this now broken up into seasons rather than releasing the original 100 episodes that we're planning on doing in the get-go. We're breaking off in the seasons so that way we can actually have some releases. People get to see how their work does. We can get some viewer input on things that we can do differently, better, and hopefully get comments on future projects as well.
Yeah. So one of the things I have been really craving a serious project of drama instead of comedy, because the 1 HP Club is for the most part of comedy, but there are some serious moments. And there was one that was just released in episode 217 that we will not revisit for 5 years. It's going to take us forever to get there. But gosh, I really am looking forward to it because it is such a freaking awesome scene. I'm so excited to hear the actors behind it. And I'm really looking forward to editing it as well. That is one that I am definitely taking over for editing because I want to do the super dramatic transitions and stuff. And oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to it. But something that's maybe a little bit more closer, because that's not going to happen for a long time, would be you'll get to hear my cultist. I actually was kind of excited about my cultist because the voice that I did for the cultist in season 2, you guys won't hear it for a while, but it will be coming up in the next season. That voice is actually my preferred natural, easier to do villain voice. It's a little bit more of the edgy, raspy, whispery kind of voice. Uh, that I feel like if I had to do an audition and I only had one take and I had to nail it, that would be the voice I'd go for.
Wonderful. I love that we both. I loved your cultist. We get to see like one of the cultists later on in the season of season one, right at the very end. So
Mhm.
I got a small taste of how he sounds in the cultist, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed it quite a bit.
Oh, that also reminds me. Another one I'm really looking forward to is I think I have no idea if they will become a main character villain, but they definitely had the grounds for it. It just depends on if Elfboy's going to bring him back or not. But if he does turn into a main character, I want to be so freaking happy because I am also very much looking forward to his voice. But that one I'm not going to spoil because I'm planning on doing something somewhat unique for his voice. So, but we'll
Ooh,
have to wait forever for it. It won't be
nice.
that unique, but it will be a little different.
Something with a little bit of variability.
Mm.
I like it. I like it a lot. We talked about what inspired you to become a voice actor. What about being a VTuber? Did anything in particular inspire you from your past to go into VTubing, or did you just kind of fall into it?
Well, actually, I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. That like, okay, so everyone I knew, like all my friends IRL, were streamers, and I had zero aspirations of becoming a streamer myself. What was funny is my computer and setup. I had a better streaming setup than they did, and I wasn't being a streamer, and, and I just wanted to be a voice actor. But then I kind of was getting into a point in life where, and this is kind of more, this is the most IRL I've ever talked about with me and my character in VTubing, and it's kind of funny this
Whoa.
happening on my stream. But anyways, uh
Get ready to cook,
I
chat.
I I was kind of getting to the point in life where it was like I had so much time to kill, and um nothing to do with that time. I'd be at work and just wishing I wasn't at work because work sucks. And then I'd be home thinking I might as well be at work because sitting here twiddling my thumbs sucks. And um, I was expressing that frustration with one of my friends. We were going on a hike um, in some like lava rock area.
Ooh.
And he was like, well, have you ever considered being a YouTuber or a VTuber? And I was like, no, I probably won't do that because that's streaming. And at that time I had barely just gotten over the concept that VTubers exist, honestly, because for the longest time I saw a VTuber and I was like, what the frick is that?
What is
and
that thing?
like, why? Who does that? But anyways, so then I mean, I finally at that point understood more about VTubers. I was actually really enjoying Hololive and stuff like that, watching them. Um, but anyway, so he asked that, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be a VTuber. I need to find something else to do with my life. And then he's like, yeah, maybe give it a thought, I guess. And I did think about it, and I was like, wait a minute, VTubers are a little bit different than live streaming, being a flesh tuber, because I can really lean into a character and then I could voice act for that character, which I never really did. I just was me, but it was a possibility. And then as a VTuber too, I feel like you can almost like there's so many like things that are really common with VTubers. Um Singing, voice acting, playing the video games, which I did enjoy, and then just like all the things. And then I'd have to edit the videos and stuff like that. So at the time, I wanted to do all of this, but I had no time to do any of it perfectly well. And I had no really outlet to do it. And so I was making AMVs at the time, which are just anime music videos. Um, and that was kind of getting like old. Like I could definitely do it and I really enjoyed it, but it was like it just wasn't fulfilling that need that the
Wasn't
long
scratching that itch.
yeah, I wanted more. And I started really thinking about what I could do as a VTuber and I was like, okay, maybe I will give it a shot. So I didn't give myself any time to think and I just made a free model and went live and figured things out from there.
I like how much effort you put into like the character behind your model as well.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Not just that you have a model, you actually have like very distinct like features behind it.
Yeah, and this current state, because it's just a uh, amnesia stricken character. There's a lot of lore because writing stories is also something I really enjoy doing, and I've written tons of stuff. Um, and so I can actually scratch that itch as well in making lore for my character, which is all slowly coming into little bits of clues here and there. I just call them lore clues, and I even have a playlist on my YouTube video that has all those clues joined together. And you can hopefully start piecing some things together. And then maybe one day my goal is that someday I will actually be able to really have a full solid idea of what I'm doing with my character and everything. And then I'll have enough money to create a real like good 2D model with full rigging and stuff like that, how I want it. And then I will be doing a debut and really seeing all the lore will come together and make sense as what's going on and things like that.
Awesome.
But
Are
that's
there
more of a
are there
dream.
any specifics that we should be looking forward to the future of your channel?
Just listening to the other two voices because I do three. There's if you've been watching the lore videos, you'll notice that there's multiple voices going on. They're all me, but there's clearly other characters involved in my characters.
Awesome. Well, I feel like we've had a pretty good get to know you session here. And I hope chat has enjoyed it. Chat, do you have any specific questions for our lovely guest slash or usually the host? He's taking a seat back in his void. He got sucked back into the abyss, and we're pulling him out to get him back to hosting. But if you
I
have any
feel it.
questions, it's time.
I can feel
Time
it
now
so
before he
close.
takes back over.
I'm about to get my void back.
It's crazy how many memories have come back to you in this interview.
Yeah. Like I wrote these questions down and I didn't even have a chance to really think about them for myself. And so it was actually kind of fun getting them thrown back at me.
So truly fit your character trying to remember. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
any any last spiel or bits that you would like to include that you'd like to tell all the fans about?
I am really, really slow, but some things are definitely cooking that I'm really excited for. But who knows when they will come out because I'm not the most. This at the end of the day, everything I'm doing here is pretty much a hobby, and I have a full-time job, so it's really slow going. But
Oh,
I
man,
guess keep yours open.
having to wait, the
Oh,
luxury of life.
I will say one thing that's coming up on January 10th. Another VTuber named Honorbound Hussar is going to be doing a monthly recap. They've been doing a monthly recap, and it's usually for the group, the Beaten Gumi. But he's been actually expanding that into other VTubers in the surrounding sphere and stuff like that, and things outside of the Beaten Gumi. And he usually recaps like clips and songs and anything that people want specifically thrown in the recap. One of the things that will be happening on the 10th is he's going to be doing that, and I will be co-hosting with him during that time. Probably towards the end of the thing, I will be showing the trailer to the 1HP Club first season for the first time live on that show. So definitely go check out. I think it is literally just Honor Bound Hussar is the name on Twitch. And there'll be more links and stuff to it as time comes closer. So you can just keep an eye out on our Twitter and you'll see it. It will be on the 10th of next month. And I'm really excited for the trailer. It is a fun trailer, and I think it'll get other people excited to see what's coming. We actually, the webtoon that we've been working on is I think very well acted, very well edited, and won't fall into the sad amateur corner, hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like we put a lot of time and effort has been put into this to make it like as good as we can make it. And like it's I feel like it's personally pretty solid and I think users are gonna enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
it's better it's only gotten better since we first started. And like if you
Oh
look at the
yeah.
prologue,
Oh yeah.
that
It
was
is
pretty solid.
way beyond our
It's
prologue.
it feels
So
miles ahead of that
the
already.
the
So
prologue, because like I said, the prologue was just going to be a quick little small thing that was not going to turn into this huge project that it turned into. And so during that prologue, because it was the first thing we ever did, I actually have it divided in like 3 different ways of editing to kind of figure out which style of editing I like the most. And so it's a little bit disconjointed. And then also just we've gotten so much better as voice actors. So the prologue was literally like over a year ago that we came out with that thing. So it is
which is
high
insane.
time that we finally get the rest of it coming out.
We've literally been working on something within it. At
Yeah.
least 2 or 3 of us all at the same time have been working on some sort of matter like
I
within the
I
voicing
keep
pretty much every day since.
I keep going back and changing little details here and there. Literally, even yesterday, I changed a couple more things on the first episode. Because when I was giving you sound effects, I was like, "Oh, that actually would be so much better than what we got." And so I went back to the first episode and changed a couple sound effects, which made me have to change some of the timing, which then led to some ideas for some other things. So each of the videos that when we do finally release them, have been gone over like 25 times. It's like, oh, fix another little thing and another little thing. And I'll probably be thinking about that. I'm sure there will be things I'll notice 10 years from now that
All
I'm
the
going to
way
be
up until release.
yeah, no, I think it'll be long beyond the
farther,
release. I'm going to be like, dang it, it's released and I can't fix it. It could be so much better.
Remember, done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect.
That is actually so dang hard for me. You have no idea.
I have to reiterate that to myself 100 times over in my head before I can do that. You want to field Krusty Punk Preacher's question as hilariously or viciously as possible?
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
What is your childhood pet's name and your mother's maiden name?
What is your childhood pet's name and your mother's maiden name?
Yep.
Little Chase was our childhood pet name. And mother's maiden name was VT. 2.
VT2? I wasn't expecting to have a maiden name, but I love it. All right, I think that wraps it up pretty nicely in a tight little bow.
Alrighty. All right.
So just gonna plug this stuff one more time. Make sure you go check out the YouTube if you haven't already, because that's where you're going to be able to watch all this stuff. And make sure you subscribe there if you haven't already. And then go follow the X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And make sure to check out Honor Bound Hussar's stream. What was that date again, Wyvern?
January 10th.
January 10th. And support Elf Boy because they are an amazing artist, an amazing illustrator, and they wrote an awesome story.
I agree. And I also forgot that
we couldn't do this without them.
I forgot to even show these pictures, but these are all the characters I'm doing for season 1.
Beautiful. I hope everybody enjoyed.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you next time.